My girlfriend asked her closest friend to join us for our anniversary meal and warned me not to turn it strange. The entire evening, they kept giggling together as though I had vanished from the scene. Without a word, I covered the entire check, got to my feet, and told them to have fun with whatever remained of the night. Then I set a tiny envelope down on the table. The instant she tore it open, their chuckles died instantly. I'm 29 now and had been dating my girlfriend for 2 full years. We connected through a dating platform, experienced that electric spark everyone mentions, and decided to share an apartment just 8 months in. Things seemed perfect until roughly 3 months back, when she bumped into an old university buddy. A male friend, someone she called her best friend long before I entered the picture. The initial mention felt harmless. She said, "I crossed paths with an old acquaintance today. We grabbed coffee and reminisced a bit." Totally ordinary, I brushed it off without concern. Soon enough, those coffee catch-ups turned into regular midday meals. The midday meals grew into full evening outings. And whenever I asked how her day went, his name popped up constantly, like a guest star in a series I never auditioned for. He's hilarious, you'd really click with him. He completely understands the way I joke. There's this deep past between us, it feels like yesterday. I worked hard to stay the relaxed, confident partner. I'd respond with things like, "Glad you two reconnected," even as an uneasy twist formed inside me that I couldn't name. She'd flash me their messages sometimes, full of private humor I couldn't decode, mentions of college escapades I hadn't witnessed, funny images that only clicked if you shared their backstory. About 14 days earlier, she mentioned our upcoming milestone, 2 years as a couple. I'd secured a spot at an upscale venue in the city center, the type you reserve far ahead. I had been considering gently raising the topic of next steps, maybe exploring what lay ahead for us. Nothing firm, simply testing the waters. Then she dropped the suggestion. "I've been wondering, how about we ask him along to our anniversary meal?" I glanced up from my screen. "Excuse me, my closest friend. It could be enjoyable. He's curious to get to know you better, and I bet the two of you would get along great. You seriously want to include another person at our anniversary meal? It's only a meal. Stop turning it strange. Our anniversary meal? The 2-year mark of our relationship," she exhaled as if I were overreacting. "You're blowing this out of proportion. He matters to me a lot. I'd love for the important people in my world to connect. During our anniversary? Otherwise when? Our schedules are packed. This lets us all spend time together, and you can understand why he means so much to me." I ought to have refused immediately. Ought to have drawn a firm line and clarified exactly why bringing a third person to an anniversary celebration was unreasonable. But I stayed silent. I convinced myself I was overreacting. That objecting would paint me as possessive or insecure. That perhaps she had a point and I was overcomplicating it. So I agreed. The meal happened yesterday evening. I collected her after her shift, drove us there, and he was waiting at our reserved spot. He'd shown up ahead of time, already sipping something, settled comfortably in the chair I'd pictured for just the two of us. "Hey, buddy," he greeted, rising to grip my hand. "At last we meet. Heard plenty about you?" "Likewise," I answered, stretching the truth. My girlfriend brightened the second she spotted him, truly radiated. She embraced him tightly, easily 10 long seconds, while I stood holding her jacket. We took our seats, and right then it hit me. I'd made a terrible choice. They slipped straight into their familiar pattern, chuckling over a shared instructor from back then. Nostalgic stories about gatherings I'd never attended. Lines from films they'd watched together without me. I attempted to chime in several times, but it felt like jumping onto a speeding vehicle. Whenever I spoke, they gave a courteous nod, then swiftly returned to their own world. "Remember that spontaneous trip to the beach at 2 a.m.? Just to catch the dawn? Oh wow, yes. And the police stopped us, but you persuaded the officer we were studying stars. He bought it completely. I'm still shocked it succeeded." Laughter. Endless laughter. The sort rooted in years of memories. Private humor. A bond I was clearly excluded from. I sat there cutting into my costly steak, observing my girlfriend completely joyful beside someone who wasn't me, on the very night marking our relationship. The server repeatedly checked if everything tasted all right. I kept replying that it was all good, wonderful even. Near the sweet course, a change settled inside me. They were giggling again over something exclusive, her palm resting briefly on his forearm, and suddenly a quiet certainty replaced everything else. No rage, no lingering pain. Simply clear understanding. I stepped away to the restroom, took out my phone, and settled on something I'd postponed for weeks. Back at the table, they hardly registered my return. I drank the last of my coffee and waited for the bill. When it arrived, I settled it fully. No splitting, no request for him to chip in. Just covered the whole thing exactly as I'd intended when I believed this would be an intimate evening for two. Then I rose. "Have a great rest of your night," I said. My girlfriend glanced up, puzzled. "Where are you headed?" "Back to the apartment. You both clearly have plenty left to discuss." "Don't act that way. Don't create awkwardness." There it was once more. "Don't create awkwardness." As though I were at fault for recognizing I'd become an extra in my own milestone celebration. I reached inside my coat, retrieved a small envelope, set it down between the two of them. "What's that?" she asked. "Take a look." She lifted it, still wearing a grin as though expecting some sweet surprise. Her friend observed with mild interest. She unfolded the envelope and removed one sheet. Her expression vanished. "What exactly is this?" "Notice to end the lease. I'm leaving. You've got 30 days to sort out the place." The blood left her cheeks. "You're not serious." "Dead serious. I already notified the landlord. My name will be removed by the end of next month. During dinner, you're ending us because of one single meal?" "Not because of one meal. Because of 3 months spent watching you place someone else first. Because of being instructed not to cause awkwardness after you brought another man to our anniversary. Because of sitting here tonight and understanding I'm barely even mentioned in your store." "Anymore," her friend moved uneasily. "Perhaps I ought to leave." "No," I replied, "remain. Obviously the two of you have far more to share than we do." My girlfriend rose. "This is absurd. He's simply a friend. Then why bring him to celebrate our 2 years? Because I wanted you to get acquainted. Meeting him doesn't interest me. I wanted our anniversary to be about us. Just us, but that clearly wasn't sufficient. You're acting jealous. That's the real issue. Perhaps. Or perhaps I'm exhausted from feeling like an afterthought." I exited the restaurant without turning around. Got into my vehicle, drove back, and began gathering my belongings. I'd already located a small studio on the other side of the city, more compact but entirely mine. I'd been searching quietly for 2 weeks, ever since her first mention of including him. Deep down, some instinct had already foreseen this conclusion. She returned home near midnight. I was in the bedroom, surrounded by partially filled boxes. "We have to discuss this," she said. "I believe we've discussed enough. You can't simply walk away." "Not in this manner. Watch me. I haven't done anything wrong. He's my friend. I'm permitted to keep friends?" "Absolutely. And I'm permitted to depart when I feel undervalued." "1 meal and you discard 2 entire years?" "It isn't 1 meal. It's every occasion you picked messaging him, instead of spending quiet time with me. Every late return from seeing him when you hardly noticed I was there. Every recounting of your day where his name appeared more often than anything involving us. Inviting him to our milestone evening and then behaving as though I'm unreasonable for feeling wounded." Tears began falling. "I never intended to hurt you like that. Yet you did. And whenever I tried expressing it, you said not to create awkwardness. What do you expect me to do? Stop seeing him completely? I want you to naturally choose our relationship first without needing me to beg for it. I do choose us. Then why was he sitting at our anniversary table?" She had no reply. Update 1. I spent that night on the sofa. Come morning, she made another attempt, prepared my favorite coffee, took the seat opposite me looking ready to bargain. "I spoke with him after you walked out," she said. "All right. He feels awful. He had no clue it was our special day. I never mentioned it." "Why not?" She hesitated. "I'm not sure. I suppose I didn't consider it important." And that sentence summed up the entire issue. "He offered to pull away for a while." "Give us room." "I don't want him pulling away. I want you to have chosen on your own to spend our milestone evening just with me, without me needing to point it out. So you're really walking away. That's your final decision. That's it. What happens to everything we created together? You mean the place where I covered most of the rent, the pieces I purchased? The routine I kept inviting you into while you chased old memories? She winced. That's harsh. None of this feels fair. But I refuse to keep acting like I'm fine being your fallback option. I left that weekend, packed what belonged to me. Left behind the items she selected and began anew in my little studio. It seemed tinier than anticipated, yet somehow freer. As though I could finally inhale without bracing for his name to surface again. For 7 straight days, she messaged constantly. Can we please talk? I miss you. I messed up badly. Please reconsider. I stayed silent, then the tone shifted. You're acting immature, all because of one meal. I hope you enjoy your solitude. I blocked her after that. Update 2. Roughly 14 days post-move, her friend texted me. No idea how he obtained my number, likely from her. The message stretched long, full of regret, stating he never intended trouble, that he treasured their bond yet valued committed partnerships higher. That he wished I'd rethink things. I ignored it. Then fate, or perhaps not, placed us at the same cafe. He sat by himself, noticed me entering and signaled me over. Mind if we chat? Probably not wise. Just 5 minutes, please. Reluctantly, I joined him. I owe you an apology, he began. I had no idea the meal was meant only for you two. She claimed you were eager to meet me. She told you I wanted to meet you? Yes, said you asked about me repeatedly and figured we'd all enjoy hanging out. I let out a short laugh. Couldn't stop it. I never once inquired about you. His expression shifted. She said the idea came from you. She extended the invitation, instructed me not to create tension. Framed it so objecting would make me seem controlling. He leaned backward. So she misled us both. Appears that way. We remained quiet for a moment. For whatever it's worth, he added. I'm truly sorry. I genuinely believed I was following what you both desired. And currently I'm questioning whether I've been foolish. Welcome aboard. He departed shortly after. Whether he kept contact with her, I have no interest. Yet that exchange solidified what I'd already sensed. She had shaped the scenario to suit herself while convincing us both we were somehow at fault. Update 3. 1 month after departing, the former landlord phoned. She'd missed rent payments. He inquired whether I remained liable for any share. I submitted my exit notice. Your name is removed. Correct. However, she listed you as someone willing to assist with her half. Claimed you consented to cover until she locates a new tenant. I never consented. That's what I suspected. Merely. Confirming, I ended the call and experienced a rush, not quite triumph. Perhaps confirmation. She had counted on me stepping in, counted on me continuing to solve her difficulties even after leaving. I offered no assistance with rent. From what acquaintances shared, she relocated back to her family home, gave up the shared apartment, surrendered the freedom she once treated as guaranteed. Meanwhile, I found myself flourishing. Increased gym visits, renewed ties with people I'd neglected, tried a handful of casual outings, nothing committed. Simply rediscovering how it feels to matter to someone instead of serving as their fallback. Update 4. 3 months following the split, she appeared at my building entrance. Unsure how she tracked the address, perhaps inquiries, perhaps something else. Regardless, there she stood at 8 p.m. on a Thursday, rapping on my door. I opened but kept her outside. We need to discuss things, she stated. No, we don't. Please, only 5 minutes, I exhaled. All right, 5 minutes. She entered, surveyed the modest space, sparse belongings. The existence I'd shaped independently. This is where you've settled. This is my place, quite compact. It suits me. She took a seat on my sofa uninvited. I've reflected deeply on everything. Understood. I believe mistakes happened on both sides. I don't agree. You departed over a single meal. Isn't that excessive? You included someone else at our milestone celebration and acted as though my pain was unreasonable. Isn't that worse? I was only attempting to do what? Enjoy both worlds. Retain me as security while pursuing whatever existed with him. That's not accurate. Then describe it accurately. She fell silent. I've continued forward, I told her. You should consider the same. Have you truly continued forward, further than you realize? Are you involved with anyone? That's private. So yes, this discussion ends here. Your time is finished. She rose. I realize now I made an error, but departing doesn't crown you victorious. Victory isn't my goal. My goal is contentment, something impossible alongside you. She exited silently. Final update. 6 months have passed since that anniversary evening. I'm in a stronger place than I've known in a long while, picked up a fresh interest, earned advancement at my job, upgraded to a more spacious one-bedroom, seeing someone casually, nothing deep yet, but she brings genuine laughter and follows through on plans, a refreshing change. Word from shared contacts. My former partner and her friend attempted romance briefly. Lasted roughly 8 weeks before acknowledging their link rested mostly on past memories rather than present compatibility. She's unattached once more. Sharing vague social media lines about self-value and removing those who fail to respect you. The hypocrisy stands out clearly. Her friend contacted me one additional time a few months back. Another apology. He felt manipulated and now comprehended fully why I walked away. I thanked him politely but kept distance. Certain stories belong in the past. That small envelope held only a single document, the lease-sending form. Yet it symbolized far more. It represented my decision to value myself, to step away from a person who treated me as disposable, to cease justifying my right to simple consideration. Some inquire whether I regret the approach, whether the sudden exit seemed overly severe. I hold no regrets. That evening distilled months of quiet unease into sharp focus, observing her joy with another on what should have been our occasion. Hearing "don't create awkwardness" when I was the one receiving disrespect. That moment brought the understanding I required. Best of all, I carry no longing for her. I expected sorrow, perhaps second thoughts or what-ifs. Instead, I mostly experience freedom. Freedom from vying for attention inside my own partnership. Freedom from endless tales of jokes excluding me. Freedom from feigning comfort in second position. That envelope ended a 2-year chapter yet restored my dignity. A fair exchange.